it's stream time once again. I like having the emoji confetti come out too, because of D-Bomb doing his thing. Oh god, is it happening again? That just fucking messes up my flow. But we have something cool for you today, which is we are starting a brand new roundup. That being the Game Boy Roundup. GB Roundup. We're gonna do every game from the first year of the Game Boy's life, including a black border for some reason. Yeah, 1989 is what that is. I am excited to do this. I am pretty pumped. I love the Game Boy. I love the Game Boy. Let me turn off the pump-up music. I love the Game Boy. Very nostalgic for me. So I know we're gonna see some absolute classics in GB Roundup over time, but there's a lot of companies who just make adaptations of their NES games. Makes sense, right? You know, you got this popular thing, it's already got similar specs. But, you know, not every NES game is good, as we've established on this here show. Which means that in addition to playing some really good stuff, I'm also going to have to relive some of my nightmares. By the way, let me know how my mic quality is, because I noticed on the last few streams it sounds like I'm really far away, even though my fucking... my mic is right here, next to my face. So, if it sounds echoey or anything like that, please do let me know so I can adjust that. It's been a thing ever since I, like, readjusted the desk, because it means the angle on the stand's different. Alrighty then. I guess we'll get started. I'm doing something else that's cool too. I'm going to be using the Super Game Boy today. Well, it's in an emulator, but it's Super Game Boy. Now, of course, Super Game Boy didn't actually release until, what, 94? Because that was like a launch of like Donkey Kong, right? And that's Donkey Kong 94, I think. Oh god, cables. But the Super Game Boy is also very nostalgic to me because I played that at my cousin's house, and then later on when I started collecting for Super Nintendo, I might have told this story before, but like my mom saw a Super Nintendo in a shop window and she was like, "Is that a Super Nintendo?" And I'm like, "What? How do you know? How can you identify that when you call everything I own an Xbox?" But that's how that is, I guess. But yeah, I that day I bought a Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, and a Super Game Boy, because they had one, and it was immediately like, I want that! I want to be able to play Game Boy games on my thing. I'm trying to find a cool, relevant picture here, and I don't know where I saved it. Because Rosie. Okay, does this work? Can I just... Whoa, that's big. That's big. Okay, here is my Game Boy Pocket. I didn't have an original Game Boy. One of the first commercials I remember is actually for the Pocket. Like the one where they're like in the factory and then they all get sprayed with the colors. For some reason, that's just like a formative memory for me. But that means I never got to play the original Game Boy. I don't even know if I saw one. I think like other kids had like either a Pocket or a Color. But I got this for my birthday when I was little, and words. I got it for my birthday, and I was actually promised a Color, but you know, gift horses and all that. This case is the actual case that it came in Europe, which is very cool, and I was really surprised to find out that this was only a Europe thing. The Game Boy was distributed by Grundig in Europe because they held like the trademark for Game Boy, and then they were like, "Nah, Nintendo, you can go ahead and release your little thing, if." Classic business stuff. And that's my actual childhood case. It's not my childhood Game Boy though, because that got stolen, which is sad. But Noth got me one just like it. some years ago. And yeah, it was green. That was what I like certain shades of green. And at the time, that's what I told people my favorite color was, because purple was not allowed by the powers that be. But yeah, this is a nice shade of green. I like this one. If you choose to believe it's the same Game Boy and it somehow made its way back over here to get back to you. Earlier today, I got an eBay alert on Jazz Jackrabbit, and someone was selling their, like, Jazz Jackrabbit 2 disc, and it was, like, the same release that I had. I don't have my discs anymore for Jazz 2 for some reason. This is going kind of off topic, but, like, okay, so I got Jazz 2 when it came out, and then when the Secret Files came out, that came with another copy of Vanilla Jazz 2. So I gave my first copy, the disc, I gave that away to a family friend, and I don't know what happened to the others. But I got an alert for that, and it was just the disc and everything, and so I was kind of like, wouldn't it be fucking amazing? It was someone from the Netherlands, so there's a non-zero chance that that is my old disc. But anyway, let's get started here with our first game on the list, which is, surprisingly, it's not Tetris, it's not Super Mario Land either. Cause I guess, you know, once again, we're going off the earliest possible release dates for these things. Please load list, I need you. Cause I can remember the first couple games, but like... Okay, well, Google Sheets is busy with its thumb up its ass. Yeah, I guess in Japan, it was not like Tetris as the pack-in or anything like that. I don't even know if they had a pack-in. So it's not the first game on the list. Why is this not loading? I need my fucking spreadsheet. How else do I know every single game that I'm going to play? Oh dear. You know what? Fuck it. I know the first couple games. We're just going to start. This is just one of those fucking... This is one of those fucking streams where everything goes wrong. I'll bet you my controller doesn't work, even though I literally went out of my way to bind the controls just now. Oh, dude. We missed the intro. Whoops. Forgot I need to set that separately. Alright, here is the Super Game... This is actually the Super Game Boy 2. Because the original has a bug where it actually runs games slightly too fast. And I want to present these as intended, you know? Ironically, though, I am not entirely sure if this isn't my modified Super Game Boy ROM where I fucked around with some stuff, but I guess we'll find out. Game? Nothing was happening, that was weird. I told you! I fucking told you this would happen! Oh, let me turn off the mouse cursor while I'm at it. This is just one of those fucking cursed streams where that shit happens. Ah, yes, of course. For some fucking reason, half the time the emulator is just like, nah, actually, this is your controller now, and the bindings don't correspond to that one. It's not even streamer text. I'm doing very little wrong. Okay, so. Good. That's streamer text right there. I should put myself out of the way a bit here. Yeah. It's kind of interesting how it's just like you can just move around and choose when you want the ball to come out. At least after the first one. But yeah, you got your breakout game here, Alleyway. Which one? This was in the era that Nintendo just kind of tried to really like cram Mario into games that don't really otherwise have Mario theming. Like, you know, you'd see him show up in Punch-Out and tennis and all that. Or golf. And here he is. Again, you can see the life counter. Mario is in this paddle, which I guess is maybe like a spaceship or something? I don't know. So I've played this one before. It's pretty good as far as breakout games go. I guess it's not like too special now, but Breakout is it's an arcadey thing. It's great to just have on the go, and this might have been the first time that you could do that. I don't know if there were any. Were there even any like real handheld systems before this? Was the Game Boy the first? I know the Game Gear wasn't a thing yet. That's not for a couple of years yet. Mario being in Punch-Out is an interesting story. Oh, do tell. Yeah, I guess there's Game & Watch, but I don't think you can really do Breakout on a Game & Watch because it relies so much on physics. Oh, by the way, the other reason I want to use the Super Game Boy, I don't think I mentioned this, but I got a little flustered there. Colors. I didn't want everything to just be like monochrome. I didn't think it would look all that great on like blown up in 1080p. So at least having a little dab of color here and there is cool. And well, of course, I think pretty much any Game Boy emulator these days is gonna let you use like the color schemes and stuff. But I like having the full experience, especially because you can customize these things, which is cool. Can change the background around, and I might do this sort of thing. I'm not always going to use the Super Game Boy because I think that's kind of going to get in the way of things. But I will use it from time to time, and I might just use these backgrounds in isolation so that we have like something to look at. And I'm pretty sure the Super Game Boy one has different ones too. Oh god, it's Echo! How did he get here? Alright, I guess you can make your own background, but I guess that's a separate mode. Let's just keep it on this for a bit. And then this is the palette editor, I guess? Yeah, you can change the colors to whatever you want. But, like, the Super Game Boy, it doesn't have any way to save any of this custom stuff, which is really dumb. If they just included a way to be like, okay, for this game, these are my settings, and then we just remember that, or, like, remember your custom background or anything like that, that would be super cool. So you can, like, mess with the colors, change them to all sorts of weird crap. Oh, God. I remember there was, like, a Nintendo Power Guide for the Super Game Boy, where they were desperately trying to come up with uses for this thing. Because this is one of those Nintendo things where, like, it had great potential, and then it just didn't really get used that much. I know that it's one of those cases where it's like, yeah, we have these cool features, but it's not actually practical to use them for anything. So when the Super Game Boy gets used properly, it's very cool. But yeah, this Nintendo Power Guy was just like, yeah, here's like some color schemes you can try out for your games. And it was like, I think it was something like, you want to make Metroid 2 harder? Just set the sprite layer to black so you can't see anything. Come on, get that fucking block. I gotta be at least one level here, come on. Stop messing around. Come on! Fuck you! Get out of here with that shit! I just want to, like, get it on the side. Yeah, there he is! Man, he ended it all out of shame. Okay, I cannot move on until I beat at least one level here. This is bullshit. Mario is just a placeholder, but then Nintendo liked it. Kind of like Ys 3. I kind of wish there was some background music at least, you know, during the gameplay. It's a little quiet. I love when this happens. It just stays up there for a while, doing its thing. Any of you ever really get into a breakout game? I used to play DX Ball on like Windows 95 a ton. And the second game had like a ton of level packs, which is kind of unnecessary because it's freaking Breakout, but like my child brain was just like, you know, I just like going into overdrive mode of like, oh man, there's so many things! I was easy to please back then. I wonder if there's any power-ups gonna show up? I feel like that's a pretty normal thing to have, like Arkanoid does, right? Is it just non to first level, or what? Control's a little slippery. I wonder if this, like, feels a little better on a actual Game Boy. Here we are again. Is that the same fucking block, too? There we go! Finally! Jeez. We just have to move over, but also the previous thing got restored, so what's going on here? Oh, the level's moving. Okay. I did not remember that that happens. I thought it was just like the previous level was shifting away. Like we're actually like moving through space. Yeah. Ugh. Well, I mean, Breakout is like the genre. Like, Breakout was just like the first game in a genre, so I guess it just becomes the name of it. What's that ball bouncing off of on the sides? That's Mario's friend. Title safe. Oh look, that looks like a duck with a Mario hat. And now I decapitated it. But yeah, I'd say this is pretty great for like an early Game Boy title, because it's just like, this sort of game is just perfect for the form factor. And I think this sort of thing still holds up today. Like, you know, like, casual gaming on mobile is big for a reason. And I think it's just that, like, when you just have a couple minutes to spare and you're bored, this sort of thing is really good. Oh, buffering? Why is this happening? Am I getting spectrumed? I sure hope not. Okay, so I don't know what the hell that was. Rebooting and everything didn't seem to help, and then I just waited a bit, and now I guess it's back. I don't know for how long. I don't know if that was just an isolated incident. We're gonna have an ad break soon, so that's kind of annoying. So I kind of don't want to start a new game here with the, you know, starting this up again while there's an ad playing, so just kind of trying to kill time a little bit. I guess snoozing is an option, but I don't know like for how long it actually snoozes. I basically never use it, so what's been going on? I've been drawing a whole lot. Which is fun. I got my meds changed and now I am inspired to do that again. But I always kind of wonder, I always kind of worry about like how to balance like my different creative things. Because obviously after releasing a False Sense Agency earlier this year, like music has not been on the forefront as much. Like I've been writing, but it's always just like, you know, when I'm doing nothing else. But with drawing, it's like that takes up a lot of time and a lot of energy in my day. So then it becomes harder to stream, and it's like, what do I prioritize right now, you know? Tell the audience about your new sleep schedule. Oh yeah, did I talk about that on the FF stream last time, or... Well, for those who weren't there at least, I changed my sleep schedule. I wake up at noon and go to bed at about 3 or 4 a.m. Because it gives me more time to myself at night, and I quite like that. I'm a night owl, and I don't really have much of a use for the, like, for the morning, really. Just not with what I do, you know. I'm self-employed, so I can choose my own hours, and this seems to work better for me. I get a lot more fun stuff done this way. Okay, hold on. Hold on a moment. I pressed record and then it started buffering briefly. What? Is that just a coincidence or is something fucky afoot? Okay. I'm gonna press record again, and if it happens again, I'll know that that's what it is. And it seems to be stable right now, so that was just a weird coincidence. But having it buffer out twice is not a great sign. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna play games, and if it fucking happens again, I'm just gonna have to postpone this whole thing. I might actually start from scratch next time in that case, because this whole thing's been a bit of a shit show anyway. But let's just put our best foot forward here with the next game. And it is, of course... baseball. Because it has to be. You need baseball. You've got any sort of game platform, you need to make sure you fulfill the baseball quota. Yeah, I think this is actually the palette they use on the Super Game Boy, because I guess it was just like, well, it's fucking baseball, it's gonna be green. But, it's a little bit on the garish side, I would say. Either that, or I made this, and I'm criticizing myself and blaming Nintendo.
What the hell's different this time?
Okay, we can be the Bears or the Eagles. I guess I'll bat first. Yo, Mario and Luigi are on here once again. Why did it just do the little selection jingle when I didn't do anything? That was weird. So I don't remember, like, Nintendo's NES Baseball, so I don't know if this is just that. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, we can be Sam Regals. We're off to a great start right here. Okay. He's gonna catch it. It happens every time in every single one of these goddamn games. All right, Jim, you can pull this off. No, you can't. Should you do his Phoenix Wright voice or his Teddy voice? Please don't do the Teddy voice. Okay, time for me to pitch. And of course the computer knocks it out of the park. Not literally, because it's still there, but... It's so slow, holy shit. Do you think that's Lewis because it's Doc Lewis from Punch-Out? Why is it so fucking slow? Good God. Why does it run like this? This is awful. This was a launch title. It's bad. Okay, so, technically you can put this group of games into like any order you want because they are all launch titles, but we of course have Super Mario Land here. So I guess technically you could say it's the first game, and I just happened to go alphabetically, and that's why you played Alleyway first. Super Mario Land! I like Super Mario Land. Like, it's weird and kind of off-brand, but maybe it's just nostalgia, but I think it's quite charming. I kind of like the tiny sprites. Like, this probably was a nightmare on the original Game Boy because of all the ghosting on the screen, but... Super Balls! They're not fireballs, they're Super Balls. Is this Polly Pocket graphics? Does this qualify? I think it might. Look at how freaking tiny those Goombas are. Bespoke music! Mario in the Underworld. Take the top exit for the bonus! Or Goombas are different. They're small! Man, I'm really experiencing the stereo sound right now. I don't think Nintendo at the time thought that someone would be playing these games with like a freaking serious stereo system, but that's what's happening right now. Yeah, we got exploding Koopas. Dot matrix of stereo sound. Yeah, the NES couldn't do stereo, so this is like unambiguously better. I don't know if the sound hardware is the same otherwise. Like, there seem to be certain sounds that show up on the Game Boy that I don't really associate with NES games, so maybe like the wave generator's a little different. Like, a lot of games have that, like, that crunchy, like, kind of sound, which I don't think you really hear on the NES. Or maybe it's just a style thing they figured out. They were just like, with the power of stereo, we could do anything! And then for the first time they realized, like, wait, this thing arpeggiates? Like, seriously, the NES sound chip can do arpeggios just fine, but, like, it only ever gets used in, like, European games, I feel. You can play some European games and be like, yo, why are you trying to be the Commodore 64 over here? I chose my words carefully there because I know, like, if I'm actually just like, yeah, it's like the Commodore 64, someone's gonna be like, actually, the SID chip is much superior than any of Nintendo's offerings. This was also kind of weird at the time, like, I don't think Mario 3 was even out yet? Was it? I don't know time. But like, it's just like, okay, first level, yeah, that seems about right. You know, Mario stuff. Even if we're in a different kingdom. And then suddenly it's just like, nah, pyramid. And there's no like specific Mario theming. They're not like, oh, here's a depiction of the sun god, but it's a Koopa or something, you know. No, it's like, nah, here just is regular ass real life hieroglyphics, sphinxes, me fucking up. I think that actually happens to me a lot when I play this. Like, I don't go back to this game too often, but like, whoop, it's not Bowser. Oh. But just for some reason that bouncing fireball like messes me up at least once every time I play this. You don't recall sphinxes being able to do that? Well, you know, you've never seen a real sphinx. There's just the one that's made of stone. You know, maybe real sphinxes can do that. Have you met one? God damn it! Why am I sucking so bad right now? That's embarrassing. How do you know I haven't? Well, if you had, then you would know that they can shoot fireballs. There we go. What was that? What the fuck was the capture doing there? I just went to like scratch my nose and it's just like whoop, whoop, for like a second, for like a millisecond. Thank you, Mario. Oh, Daisy. Wait a minute, you're like a weird fly-looking dude. I've been bamboozled. That's what Mario sounds like in Mario Land 1. Because they hadn't figured out the whole branding thing yet. And yeah, UFO. Which, I don't know, when did we get on a UFO? When did that happen? It looked like you were starting to do... Oh, you know, like the, What is that called in English? Anyway, the next and last Japanese launch title here is Yakuman. Shigeru Miyamoto's take on the fly is weird. I got a bad feeling about this. Okay, I don't understand what any of that means. But their settings, their rules, and yeah, let's do it. Oh my god, you guys, it's Mahjong! You know, one of these days, I'm gonna come on stream and I'll have actually learned how to play Mahjong and I'll just do it and I won't even fucking bring it up. I'll just act like none of that shit ever happened, like it was, like I always knew. Surprise, bitch, it's Mahjong! That was a good moment. Guess the music's okay. Okay, there seems to be a little bit less, like, fucking about in, like, menus compared to a lot of Mahjong games that I've been made to play. So I assume that a lot of the, like, rules-related stuff is just kind of automated. Or maybe I just accidentally picked a sort of mahjong that's for, like, mega babies. You're an expert in pawn. Ha ha! I sure am! But you love it. Oh wait, is that a menu? I thought it was just some sort of status thing. Can I, like, select things when that happens? I can. There it is, the pawn! I am unable to pawn, which means this game is bullshit. Alright, what is with the freaking hand capture? Why is my shoulder... I do hold my shoulders a bit weird sometimes, but, you know. It's not like that right now.
What the hell's different this time?
Nothing! Next up is tennis. Which was already one of the better, like, early Nintendo sports games, so let's see how they handle it here. Music, yes! If you turn on music, like who would do that? To just be like, is this... I don't think this is the intended palette for this. I think this might have been something I was fucking around with. I can't imagine that this is what they would go with. But who would be like, you know, I don't want the music, but I want the dulcet tones of Game Boy sound effects. I guess I could track down, like, an adulterated ROM of the Super Game Boy, but... This is more fun. Yeah. Hold on, what does that photo icon do? I've never tried that. Oh, I think it, like, freezes the screen. But it doesn't freeze the game, so why would you do that? Anyway, got some chibi dudes. Not immediately getting my ass kicked, which I appreciate because I'm generally not very good at tennis games. Whoops. Fold! Mario was so happy about the fact that I fucked that up. It's kind of weird. Haha! See, I like this one because I'm actually getting somewhere. That would not have worked in any other tennis game. Seeking a Setsu until next year? I think so. We'll see, I guess. Like, you gotta understand, I put these lists together so far in advance, there's no way I'm gonna remember what's actually coming up half the time. Well, that's bullshit. Haha! You failed! Ho 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 ho! This music doesn't really feel very Nintendo to me. But I can't quite put my finger on, like, what other developer it sounds more like to me. Why is it called Deuce? Oops. Down to the wire! Hey, Gavin. Yeah, something was being fucky. I still don't know what caused it. That'll teach me to talk to chat. It messed up. It's a specific type of tie. Yeah, but why deuce? I want to know more specifically. Anyway, this is pretty good. I like it. Next up is this really obscure game. I don't think anyone's ever heard of this one, but it's a bit of a hidden gem in the Game Boy library, you know? Which is what this show is really all about, ultimately. Yeah, I think these are my custom palettes. Oh my god, this is the really early version. This was like very briefly in Japan. There was a revision without the famous music. I don't know why. But we're not playing that. I need the music, of course. Deux de jeu. That one makes sense. There we go. Now this is for real. So, you know, this game was kind of a big deal. And them putting it as pack-in internationally probably helped this whole handheld thing a lot. Now remember there being a Scott the Woz video where he's like, this is like the perfect version of Tetris. And I'm like, not really, it's a little stiff, the RNG's kinda dumb. Like, sometimes you will seriously just not get anything good for fucking ever. Just master stroking it up in here. That's right. I am Tetris Master. I am good at the Tetris. Can you say that Scott quote again, but in your best Scott tone? Oh, geez, you're putting me on the spot here. He's gonna be like, hey all, Scott here. This is the perfect version of Tetris. It doesn't have any modes that you mess around with like once and then never again. If you want pure Tetris, the Game Boy's the way to go. How was that? It's the best Tetris game ever. I don't think he talks like that. Yeah, no, obviously, you know, this is a good version of Tetris, and it's definitely, like, iconic for a reason. But the idea of, like, dismissing every other version of Tetris because this one exists is, stupid. But yeah, there is just something about it, because even though I could play Tetris on, like, fucking any device I own, probably, I still play the Game Boy one. It's just so much fun to just pick up and just, you know, go a couple rounds, which I think that's where the Game Boy is at its best. Can you please stop giving me boxes? Miyamoto personally funneling down the blocks to fuck me. You know, there's a Scott the Woz episode where he says, "Shapes! Fuck 'em!" Which is not about Tetris, surprisingly enough. See, the problem that we have now is there's a decent chance that I'm just going to end up playing Tetris this whole time and not get to the other games. We actually don't have a huge list today. I'm trying to kind of scale back how many games I do per Roundup episode so that I can give each one its due, you know? But a year it just kind of worked out. It's 25 games, and that's just the first year, because this thing released in April in Japan, so you don't have the usual thing of like, okay, this console released in this year, but there wasn't actually anything on it until the year after, so we've got to combine the streams or whatever. No, this is just a decent crop right before the flood happens, because goddamn, this library builds up quickly. Little spoiler for the next episode of GB Roundup there, but like, developers were just real fast to jump on this thing. And I wonder what the story behind that is. Like, I wonder if people were just like, yo, portable gaming, let's fucking go. Or if there was just the part where Nintendo still had a absolute stranglehold on third parties. So it was just like, you better fucking make some games for this thing, you son of a bitch. You're being super cool again, Tetris. Oh, I appreciate it so much when you give me all the hard blocks to put in my pit of blocks. Very cool. Anyway, this might not be the official Tetris palette on a Super Game Boy, but I like it. Like, you can actually, like, you can customize your own Super Game Boy ROM with, like, which games have built-in palettes, and you can, like, change the backgrounds and stuff like that. It's cool. Unfortunately, there's a fairly limited amount of games you can give presets to, because that's just how the thing was built. But, you know, that's just an excuse to curate. Be like, okay, which games are worthy of this? Which games am I going to play enough that it'll matter whether there's a preset palette? Gotta open that hole! Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely what I wanted right there at that very moment. That's super. This is not ideal. I just can't seem to fucking get down there. You watched the Summoning Soul video on Tetris speedrunning? I might have. I don't remember. Like, Summoning Soul videos are always just kind of the same sort of thing, so they all kind of blend together for me. You know, you start with, like, some speedruns that are so old that they don't even have footage of them, and it's like, but the first speedrun we had was this one from Dingleberry 69, and then, it's gonna talk about, like, a couple different runners coming in, and then it's like, and that's where the record stood for 2 years, but then, and then the music starts up, and then it's like, and then Dingleberry had this run, and then, you know, he of course gets the record, and he's like, yeah! Anyway, they're good videos. They're good videos. I'm clowning on them because I love him. Next up is Shanghai, because of course we gotta have Shanghai. But hey, at least I understand Shanghai. Unlike regular real mahjong, which is just like I don't know what's going on there. Wow, it's so juicy watching all the tiles come down. I wish I had a super expressive model like Doki Bird, so you could see the face that I was making while rocking out to this rockin' tune. Is this legal? No, it's not. I always forget what you are and aren't allowed to do. Like, to me, it just seems like, you know, if it's open on one side, you should be allowed to do anything, but that's not how it works. The lack of color makes it a little hard to differentiate between the layers at a glance, I feel. At least, that's how I'm experiencing this right now. Oh wait, let me just do it. No, wait, that works? Wasn't the other thing I tried just like that? Like if I can grab that, then why not that? Whatever, man. I still don't get it. See, like, I can't do that for some reason, but like, can I do this? Like, I can do that. And I can't pick this one, even though, like, you know, maybe like outside doesn't count as like a free, but like here it's like it's free above it, so why can't I grab that one? Because this one's here and then it would be lonely? Is that how it works? They can't be lonely? But yeah, I guess this is another game that, you know, it just makes sense to have this on Game Boy. I don't get it. I don't get the rules of this at all. Like, it's sort of strange looking at, like, early Game Boy games, because it's also basic, but because there wasn't anything like it before now, just like, hey, it's this thing on the go is enough. Making my own remix. Okay, why is that one okay, but not this one? What's the fucking difference? They're in the same situation. What? What are the rules?
What the hell is different this time?
Your mama's different this time. Yeah, I can see this being a fun time waster. I did. I did tell yo ass. And while we're on the topic of standard shit that just makes sense to have on the go, it's Soukoban. Yeah, this is definitely a palette I did myself. It does not have the dark background normally. Oh, grill? Oh, I like grill. Please take my gift. What? But yeah, it's Soukoban. This version is called Boxxle in the West, but it's Soukoban in Japan because it's Soukoban. And yeah, again, it just makes sense to have this on the go. Now, I still don't really like Soukoban. It kind of pisses me off, but I'm not gonna be like, why the fuck is this here? You know? Yeah! Ah, wait, I think I screwed up already. Because then I would, like, have to do this, and then up, and then I won't be able to get it down. Is there, like, a... Okay. This, palette, I didn't really think about the HUD there, did I? It counts your steps, which is interesting. See, I think the moral of this stage is, like, don't be lazy because you gotta go around to do this properly. Oh, wait, but now, doesn't the same thing happen with this one? So I get into the same fucking situation again? God damn it. I wonder if there's limited lives, or if you can just do this. I guess I'll do these first? So it seems to be counting steps over there, so I assume there's gonna be like a score thing on like, do the levels in as few moves as possible. Yeah! I don't really seem to have a whole lot of choices here, but... Okay, that was easy. I thought that was gonna end up being, like, really tricky, because there were so many boxes right next to each other. Yeah! So yeah, this is a pretty good version of Soukoban right here. Yeah! I know that he's just like kind of looking down when he does that pose, but like it kind of looks like he just grows a helmet. Alright, next game is The Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle, because you gotta have that. Now, if you're not familiar with this series, they're like side-scrolling puzzle games. You're just trying to get all the keys or carrots or whatever. And because it's so freaking generic, they always just get whatever license they can. And in the US, this was generally Bugs Bunny most of the time. But this particular one in Japan was actually Mickey Mouse, but I guess Capcom was the one who had the license to that at this time? I actually beat the NES version of this. I wouldn't be able to tell you if the stage layouts are the same, though. I mean, you know, this is like fast food gaming right here, so. Although the NES game had a lot of palette swaps, damn it, for the enemies. So it was like, oh, green Sylvester's way smarter than blue Sylvester, but obviously they can't do that here. So I wonder how they're gonna handle that. But yeah, there were a fuck ton of these games, so if you like this gameplay, you're not gonna run out anytime soon. Look at this asshole. Just waiting for me there. I thought I picked up a boxing glove, but I guess that was last level. I'm gonna grab it here. Get out of here. I'll give you 2 boxing gloves in this level, even though there's only the 1 enemy. And like, honestly, this early on, how are you gonna miss? Oh, he's gonna come up, isn't he? No? I thought for sure he would climb the stairs, but every enemy's got their own behavior. Like, look, he's gonna immediately just come towards me if I'm around. Yeah. The damn coyote. So yeah, batting average is pretty good so far, and just like, yeah, this is a great game to play in your hands. Next up is Motocross Maniacs. Alright, we got Konami for the first time here. Excuse me, I was using that screen. So we'll just start with the first options. Yeah, like I think Crazy Castle's pretty suited to the to the handheld side of things, but obviously when they made the first one, that wasn't really an option yet. Oh boy, I think I used to play Flash games like this. Which, if you think about it, a lot of Flash games were kind of like... They were kind of like this, but it was like, well, teachers are gonna be like... They're gonna take your Game Boy away if you're playing that in class, but... go into fucking Flash game websites. That's fine. It said copyright Konami right on the title screen, dude. If anyone doesn't know the story there, Nintendo used to have this rule that you could only publish so many games a year as a company to try and like stop shovelware from happening. But what companies like Konami would do is they would just make a separate company to publish those games in the US, because that wasn't a thing in Japan. It was only internationally that Nintendo was like that. Okay, I don't know how to get more height. Am I... Oh, there's like a boost. Okay, no, that makes sense then. I didn't think we were gonna go all fucking Sonic the Hedgehog up in here, but... that's what we're doing. There's no way to just... wait, I seemed to turn around just briefly, but... then I didn't. I guess, like... you're gonna proceed no matter what, but, like, getting the items is just, like, a good thing to do. Because you get time and, boosts for it. I am bad at this. Oh no, am I running out of time? Music's fast. Okay, cool. Wait, so I didn't seem to have any more boosts, but like, the bottles are still there? I'm confused. Yeah, see right there, it says copyright Konami. Out of every company who made games for the NES, only one who wasn't Nintendo got the bypass the 5 game a year limit. Who was it? I don't know, but if I had to guess, maybe Capcom? Because they had a lot of games on the NES. Okay, Rare. Oh, well, okay. I should have figured. Should have figured it was those guys. Anyway, I'm bad at this. It might be good. It's hard to tell. Now, I mentioned earlier, before everything went to crap for a bit, that we'd be reliving some nightmares. And of course, you know, you got the baseball, you got the mahjong, get that squared away early on, but... NES Lode Runner was fucking horrible, and I don't know if this is gonna be like that, or if this is actually gonna play okay. Because there's not technically anything wrong with Lode Runner. Well, I was gonna... oh, what? Okay, you get a select level. I was actually just gonna be like, can you, like, give me a hint on whether it's a good developer or not? Because I could totally see some fucking fucked up situation where it's like, oh, LJN somehow got Nintendo to agree to this crap, and then... that's why they were infesting everything. How do I get out of here now? I don't think I was supposed to do that yet. Okay, we got a map. Is there a way to restart the level if I screw myself? Because I screwed myself. I guess I just gotta go in here and die. I have 2 men! In my life, there's only 1 man. Am I pressing the wrong button? What the fuck? No, it worked that time. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Oh. I always forget exactly how this works. It seems to be the same levels as normal, so... well, now I'm really stuck, though. Like, straight up. Okay, start select brings you back to the title screen, I guess. But, I mean... I could just do that by turning the Game Boy off and on. I just wanted a way to, like, restart the level. Why is that an option to do? circle. Guess I overestimated my momentum there. Man, I'm so fucking bad at this. I don't know. But it runs a lot better than the fucking Famicom version did, so. Next up is Revenge of the Gator, which is a pinball game. It always kind of amuses me when there's a video pinball game, and then it's just... Oh, I guess it does say pinball on the title screen, but according to my list, it was just Revenge of the Gator, so I don't know. But there are some pinball games that just don't even, like, indicate in the name that they are pinball, which is kind of funny. I mean, I guess every platformer and RPG doesn't need to have platformer or RPG in the title, but... I don't know, somehow it feels different with pinball. Because, you know, it's gonna be more limiting than your average, like, video game adventure, you know? Like, you're just gonna be on these tables. So, you know, if it's like, like how the fucking Devil's Crush had a version on Genesis that was like, Dragon's Revenge, and it's like, yeah, just based on the title, I wouldn't really think that that's a pinball game. Of course, you can look at the cover and be like, oh, okay, there's the pinball. Look on the back, but, like, I don't know. Maybe this is a complete non-issue right here. The problem with pinball on a low-resolution screen is, you can't really see what the fuck you're doing. Tecmo Super RPG was the working title for Tecmo's Secret of the Stars. That's incredible. I love that out of all the words in that working title, they decided that keeping Tecmo was the important one as part of the title. Because that's such a selling point, right? Freaking Tecmo? You're gonna be like, oh shit, dude, Tecmo made this? Why? I'm real bad at this. But why? Okay, the slight hitch when you change screens is a little distracting, but it doesn't seem awful. And I seem to have better luck hitting things than I did in freaking Pokemon Pinball when I played that, so... I want to get up there. I want to see what's in there. Yee. So... if this is the Revenge of the Gator, was there a previous Gator pinball thing, or is there some kinda in-universe story here that explains why this Gator wants revenge and we need to pinball him to snap him out of it? Actually, it seems like there's a number of Gators here. Like, there's quite a few. Hey, Mako! How you doing? I am doing alright. Things got a little dumb earlier, like everything was going wrong at the start of the stream, but then it got better. Fingers crossed it'll keep doing that, knock on wood and all that. Gator lore runs deep for this pinball launch title for the GB. Well, we're not in launch title anymore. Maybe it's still launch window? I don't know. It's fine, but I don't... like, it's not something I'd go out of my way to buy. If I got to, like, play a friend's copy, I'd probably play it for a couple of minutes and be like, yeah, okay. I know there's better pinball on the Game Boy, which probably doesn't help, but... you know, we gotta disregard that right now. It doesn't exist yet. It's 1989, and we just got our brand new Game Boy with Tetris. And then these are the other things on offer. Yeah, it's not awful, it's just a little mediocre. Like, I can't really point to anything and be like, this is why this game isn't worth playing, but it's just like, yeah, this sure is game. Which is, you know, arguably worse. Some people really freaking hate it when a game is just kind of boring, compared to a game just being a freaking disaster. But I'm just putting myself in the shoes of, like, Kid Rosette playing her Game Boy Pocket and getting to try a whole bunch of games, and I don't think this one would really hold my attention, even though I quite like video pinball. I like the doofy Gator block in the gutter there. It's this is like, yep, time to clock in on this job again. He's just like, I don't get it. If we're getting revenge, why are we helping this fucking ball? Yeah, NES pinball is not really good. A lot of the, like, early Nintendo, like, normie titles aren't really great, honestly, for the NES. Like, I don't want to necessarily call them launch games, because they were launch games in the US. So it was definitely, like, a really targeted thing. But, you know, in Japan, it was just like, here's Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and Popeye. So yeah, I guess I'd give this like a try or a check rating. Now this next game though, oh boy.
Goodbye.
Got Konami again. What do you got for me today, Konami? I hope it's something cool. It's Castlevania! Oh boy! I love Castlevania on my Nintendo Entertainment System. Now I can have Castlevania action on the go! That's fair. Look at how fucking slow this is. So, if I'm correct, the reason that Christopher Belmont here can't walk good is because the original Game Boy screen was a bit crap, and if things went too fast, you wouldn't be able to tell what the hell was happening. But I think this is a little excessive. But what supports the idea that that's what it was is, later on, Konami re-released, they released like compilations of their Game Boy games on the Game Boy Color, you know, color added and all that, and they did make this game faster. So either it was always just because of the screen, or they just recognized, like, oh, you know, if we just fix this bit, then this will immediately be a lot better. But yeah, you can, that version exists. There's various hacks to spruce the game up further. As you can see, I just lost my freaking whip upgrade, because that happens when you get hit in this game for some reason. Which is, a choice that was made. I don't think there's even sub-weapons. I think it's all whip in this. Well, if a game's really slow like this, like everything's just so slow that it takes forever to do anything, so it just doesn't really feel great. Because what happens is, like, you know, usually in a Castlevania game, if you get hit, you're gonna be like, oh, I got hit, but, you know, then you continue on. It's that addictive challenge, you know? And then here it's just like, get hit, and it's like, alright, I guess I'll go make a sandwich while I bounce back. I know there's like a secret on one of these ropes. Everyone always wonders why there's ropes instead of stairs in this game, and like the other Game Boy Castlevanias. Everyone always seems mystified by this. I think it's pretty obvious that it's because the stairs take up too much goddamn space on a Game Boy screen. And also, would you really want to deal with stairs with this fucking speed? Or lack thereof? Ah, there it is. Yeah, I've actually played a decent bit of this. I haven't beaten it because it's not super long stage-wise. Like, there's, like, what, 4 stages or something? But they go on for so long, and there's parts that are just so fucking annoying to deal with if you don't already know exactly how this is gonna go. So I got to like stage 3, I think, and then it was just like I kept dying because the stage was so freaking long, and there were so many new challenges, and it was just like, you know what, fuck this. Music's pretty good though. Rebirth is cool. Yeah, I was just gonna talk about Rebirth. So, in the WiiWare era, Konami briefly did this thing called the Rebirth series, where they would just make like new retro entries in some of their famous franchises. I think they did Gradius and Contra as well. And then, for some reason, instead of just making like Castlevania Rebirth, they made it specifically Rebirth of this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just Iga going like, this still needs to fit in the canon. And nobody likes that game, so we can do that. And yeah, that game's pretty cool. But for some freaking reason, they use none of the music from it. There is actually a remix of this song that's like unused or on the soundtrack album or something like that. Oh, you want to see some shit? These platforms. So it's just like, okay, so you remixed this cool song and it sounds great, and then you're just like, nah, what if we instead just use Reincarnated Soul from Bloodlines? And my autistic ass is just gonna be so angry about that, because like, the first level music of any Castlevania game needs to be iconic to that specific game. That's like the character's theme song and everything. So you can't just take someone else's Castlevania theme song and give it to Christopher Belmont. He already had one, and you just chose not to use it. Jesus Christ, these jumps. Like, even when making freaking Castlevania Judgment, they acknowledged this, where it was like, you know, they had to pick a theme song for every character in the game, and Simon, of course, gets Vampire Killer. And I remember there was actually like a developer interview where they were like, yeah, we would have loved to actually use the song that's called Theme of Simon Belmont, but how are we not going to use Vampire Killer? Like, who else? You can't not have Vampire Killer, and who else would you give that song to? But other than that, the soundtrack of Rebirth is really cool because even though I don't think there's any like tunes written specifically for it, they're all very cool remixes, and it highlights some songs that just like don't get like the spotlight normally. Like, there's one that's the freaking Lode BGM from Castlevania Chronicles, the Sharp XC8000 version, which you're never gonna freaking hear, because everyone's gonna play the PlayStation version, and you don't need it. Or the score theme from Haunted Castle, which is pretty blatantly supposed to have been stage music, but I guess they ran out of time or something. Because it's like a full-ass song. It is not written for a freaking score screen. And it's a really cool piece of music, and they just actually use it in a level. And then there's like, was Lost Paintings in the game, or was that another, like, cut bonus track? Because I know there was a remix of Lost Paintings in that style, that Konami arcade style they used for Rebirth. I gotta take a sip. Yeah, right in my eye. So yeah, that's that. Moving on, Malibu Beach Volleyball, also known as Seaside Volley in Japan. Hold on. I just like blew past something. Okay, that's like a surfboard. I thought she was like a volleyball angel. To practice, choose the USA women's team. Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean? What the fuck are these instructions? Is this a prototype? To practice, choose the USA women's team. For longer practice, choose the 3-game match. That stands to reason. To practice again against Italy, reset after match. What? What the fuck? Yeah, sorry, American girls. You're the practice mode. Reincarnated Soul is your favorite character theme in the franchise? It's a damn good one. I'm not gonna give you any shade for that, but, you know, almost all of them are. Almost all of them are fucking awesome. That's what makes it important to do that kind of thing properly. It's like Vampire Killer. Well, Castlevania 2 doesn't really have stages, but I guess Bloody Tears would be it. Because that's the first thing you hear when you go out to fight monsters. I hit that, man. Beginning. Theme of Simon Belmont. Bloodlines. Reincarnated Soul. Just, they're all awesome. Yo, that ball in! I was doing good for a bit, and then I just forgot how to do this, I guess. And then when you get into, you know, the search action area, like freaking Dracula's Castle, which, you know, that becomes Alucard's theme in Judgment, which makes sense, but it's really funny that Alucard's theme is called Dracula's Castle. Freaking Awake from Circle the Moon is awesome, and it's like the only good song in that game. Why can't I freaking hit it? What am I doing wrong? Also, it seems to make like a crack in the ground. That's weird. Okay, so that time it clearly looked like I was like standing too far close to the net because it was in front of the ball, but it worked. And then sometimes I feel like I'm standing in the right spot and it doesn't work. So I don't know what that's about. I fucking went to the X, you bitch! I went to the X, and now I'm gonna X this game. The next game's called Kwirk. He's amazing! That's part of the name here. I assume it's just a tagline that for some reason is in the title of the file. Also just known as Puzzle Boy in Japan. Atlas made this. Okay, are we gonna summon some demons? Hey, D-Bomb, is that a relative of yours? No one's gonna get that joke, are they? Going up? Heading out? Versus mode? I don't know, are we going up? Sure, I guess. There's a lot of options here. Okay, got this sort of thing. Wait, how do I do this? There we go. So this is the diagonal view, right? So I guess the bird's eye view would just not have this, like, that you can see the walls, which, I don't know, that seems a little pointless to me, but I messed up. Well, you would get it. It was a joke pertaining to you, but... I feel like without context, some people might just be like, wait, what's she saying about D-Bomb? What's she implying about D-Bomb right there? Okay. I thought there was going to be more to that, but I guess we're just still in the learn to play game. Are we trying to rescue this girl ball? We know she's a girl because she has a bow? Is that what's going on? Okay. There we go. See, I feel like that might actually be a little harder if you don't have that view, but... I want to see what this other stuff does. Like, what is heading out? What does that mean? Oh, you can play, like, a certain amount of rooms? But, like... if you're doing this, then, like... So I guess that's just like a... is that like a practice mode, or how does this work? And then here you can just choose how many you want. Let's pick the other option for the view. Yeah, literally just makes the game look flatter. I wonder if anyone actually, like, needed this mode. Like, this actually looks way harder to understand to me. Honestly, like, this makes it so much more confusing. But I guess they just weren't sure if people were gonna, like, understand what's going on. Like, look at... See, that's way more confusing to me. Kinda interesting that in this mode it seems that... oh, that doesn't work. You just press the button and just instantly reset, but in the other mode you got like a little menu? How do I do this? I can't... I pressed it by accident. Okay, see, I feel like it would have been easier to see that there's floor there and the diagonal view, so, yeah, this is, like, noticeably worse. And I can't cancel out of it either, so... I don't quite understand what's the deal with the modes and all that, but, it seems fun, it seems interesting. It's made by Atlas, which means I want to see this guy in, like, an SMT game as a summon. I need to somehow have it in this position while being over there. How do I do that? I don't get it. Next game is golf. Gotta have golf. I would expect this to not be too different from the NES version because that was, you know, that was already fine. Even if I didn't know how to play it at first. My name is, Oh, I can't do rhombus, there's not enough space. My name is Rhombs. I will go to Japan. Oh god, the weirdo's back. You know, I feel like the more this dude does, the more it's like, okay, cool. The more that they're just gonna be like justifying you trying to get rid of them. So I wish I could see where I was going. I can't seem to make a map happen though. Oh. Like if I knew where the freaking hole was, I could plan ahead a little better, so. Select brings this up. Start brings this up. Classic pause sound. Oh, okay, okay. I don't know why I didn't try that already. Yeah, I think this is the same course from the NES game, which, of course, also is the first course in Wii Sports Golf. Yeah, that's alright. Should we give anyone context on that, or... How did they get worse at doing this? There we go. I love how, that part of the fairway just makes it look like it's arrows. Oh god. That was way too much! Well, it's something that's happening to you, so you should probably be the one to explain it to chat. Oh no. There we go. Yeah! I didn't do very well, but I did it. Yeah, this, you know, it's Nintendo Golf. Not a whole lot to say about that. I'm still not sure if it was AI art that they made, or if it was just like weird, low-effort, scammy BS. Either way, it was very sus. And their behavior is even more sus. But here's something amazing. You're never gonna guess what this next game's called. Wait for it. It's Pachinko Time! That's literally the name of the game. Oh boy. Pachinko-kun makes his debut on the portable thing, so you can play Pachinko wherever you go. You won't have to go to a Pachinko parlor anymore. You just go here. Okay, how do I start? I don't see the, like, lever thing. How do I play? Start A B. I don't understand. How do I play? Oh, okay. So I guess I have to hold A and then use left and right to change the thing. This is, which I guess is how it always works, but just the fact that you can't see the lever just weirds me the hell out. And also having to hold A basically the whole game is not my favorite thing in the world. It's not like you can get a turbo controller for your GB. I mean, I'm sure someone made an accessory like that. I don't know how that would work though. Why is this the music now? What is the music doing? I'm so confused. So this is like an Egyptian themed table, but the music sounds like... Oh, now it's different again. Why is the music just keep changing into different weird things? Well, at least this one sounds like something that would go with a pachinko. But yeah, it sure is pachinko. I wonder what the difference between these is. Yeah, that seems to be pretty much the same thing. Like, you just gotta find the lucky machine? Is that what's going on? I thought that was the exit? Am I not allowed to leave until I play this pachinko? Let's play the numbers game. Get all the balls. Let's play the numbers game. Swan and Lady Pockets. I don't get it. And now it's this part again. For some reason. I guess it's just trying to be like a medley. So that you don't get bored listening to the same tune while you pachinko. Yeah, that's... Oh, the exit is its own thing over here. Okay. I can't leave? I'm stuck in the pachinko parlor! You could check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. Okay, so we may not have Seiken Densetsu this time, but we do have the other Final Fantasy game that's not Final Fantasy. Oh, I clicked the Japanese version by accident. Which is the Final Fantasy Legend, which is actually SaGa, which is a series that terrifies the fuck out of me. It's Final Fantasy, but for sickos. It has been said that the tower in the center of the world is connected to paradise. Dreaming of a life in paradise, many have challenged the secret of the tower, but no one knows what became of them. Well, I guess they went to paradise. Now there is another who will brave the adventure. Oh, I guess I will be... Yo! This one could give you wings. This will be Bean. yo, look at those 16 by 16 8-bit thighs. Look at that. Look at that. That girl is thick. If you want to advance, choose members at the guild. Oh, with Dragon Quest III up in here. Look at that. Look at that sashaying. If you lose your last heart, you can't be brought back to life. Oh no. House of Life. Wait, so like, how does that work? There's another town to the southeast. That's cool, but is this the guild? Is this a shop? Where am I going? Oh, it must be my sister. Guild? Where? You can't retire. Yeah, no, I need people. How do I do that? Door is locked by magic of black. Magic of black! I just kind of run into people and then it just... I don't even press the button. I can buy strong, in theory, but I don't have money. Well, it appears there's a roughly diddly dick I can do right now. Once you leave town, it's a savage land. Isn't that where Wolverine hangs out? Move to the empty spaces on the guild screen. Huh. Okay. That's not very intuitive. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Let's have a mutant. He can be... Hello, Friday. I am a giant nerd, it's true. My mutant friend will be... And we will also get... Oh, I can't get a Red Bull? Then how can I get wings? I guess we'll get this guy, he has wings. I wanted to name him Flippy, but I guess his name's Flip. Sure. I have no idea if these are good choices or not. Balls? Okay, this one's name will be Balls. If you insist. Okay, I got guys now. Yeah, I absolutely will need guides for this, huh? So... Can I get into fights here? Or... I gotta go across? Like, I don't have money, so I assume I gotta do some fights? So what are these numbers here? Is it like the amount of time you can use your only attack? I would hope that restores at an end, but it's SaGa, so... Monster attacks do? So I guess... Oh, is it just my weapon? You can buy a new one. Alright, okay, I understand. I mean, it sounds like a pain in the ass, but I get it. Also, I'm not sure, like, what palette would be appropriate for this game, but somehow the red lake seems appropriate, so... well, if this is gonna take a long time to do, then I guess I gotta move on, which is always a shame with RPGs on Roundups, but... that's how it is. Next game won't take very long, because it's Shogi, because, you know, you gotta get all the classics in there. Everyone's red with the bloodier enemies. Okay, token showing of the Shogi game that I can't play. Okay. Oh my god, there's AI waiting time. Not the best sound I've heard for that. That is still undefeated. You gotta fucking wait for the AI. Like, holy shit, dude. Haha! I step on you! He doesn't know what to do about that shit. Oh no, I've been stepped on! Oh yeah? Oh, I can't do that. I can't move sideways either? Like... I can't do anything. God, I can't believe you have to wait that long for the computer to make its move. That's gonna get annoying very quickly. Fortunately, I don't know how to play Shogi to begin with. But just in case you're afraid that things are gonna get a little too exciting after that, we got Battleship. Is that a whistle, an air horn, or is the answer yes? I choose to believe it's just your opponent going, ah! Just yell checkmate. I'm not sure what button does that in this. Yeah, okay, let's put the ships down. Whatever. Guys. Oh. I was trying to just click away the thing. And I guess that was happening automatically. Enemies operations! Oh, come on, there's no way he guessed that immediately. I call hacks. I love how there's always a ship just away from where you're hitting. I really thought he was gonna just hit another ship immediately. And then I would really be calling bullshit on that. Haha! Wait, 2? Wait, what is this? Can you... Can you do that in Battleship? I haven't played it since I was like... I don't even know. Or just items. Man, this music's really going for it. Haha, you've been kaboomeled. Kaboomeled by Rosie. Man, the computer got really lucky at the beginning, and then now they're just not sure what to do, I guess. Okay, maybe I should use something like this and just kind of figure out where these are. Just, you know, spread a little more quickly or something. That makes it look like I fired them all at the same place. Oh god. Okay, that's... Yeah, that would be kind of hard not to hit with. It seems a little OP, honestly. I guess we can just experiment with a couple of these. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a weapon, but I don't know what that means. I don't I guess it's supposed to help you locate something, but like I don't like did the beeps mean there was something or there wasn't? Eve, why do you gotta say things like that? It's supposed to be a happy place. I love that the text goes down with it. War never changes, the video game said that. War never changes. Or does it? No. War cannot change. Unless war has changed. I am leader of bad guy. You cannot defeat me because I am way too fast unless game goes into slow motion for no reason. Oh no. Rosie? Yes, hello, I am Rosie. I go Mau Mau, I am Princess, I stream. I've sunk their battleship. Oh, is he gonna get it? You apologize for doubt. You doubted me? The fuck? Excuse me, you doubted me? What? Oh, that's not good. Do I have any more items? I just have the submarine, which I don't think is really very useful. Well, now I'm boned. Look, they already know where that thing is. Come on, where the fuck is it? Is it all the way on the bottom or in that weird corner? There we go! How does he have all those items? I don't have all those. All I have is submarine. What the fuck? Yasutroya! Okay, so now this is just gonna become a crapshoot, I guess. Cause, you know, computers just fucking gotta fire randomly. And, yeah, it's not really a way to... I guess I can try using this thing? I assume that means there's nothing? I really don't know. See what happens when a computer does it. Okay, so that's what it looks like when you can find it. Now I have nothing. Well, I'm boned because it knows where I am, so... It's over. That's why you yank out the link cable. Well, that's poopy. I don't like that at all. I like when game win. Alright, next up is Fist of the North Star. 10 big brawls for the King of Universe. Is how that's listed here. And this actually had a US release. I guess because by this point... I don't know. Was there any Fist of the North Star localized at this point? That's good music. I like it. Got a whole bunch of characters. Come on, I'm gonna play as Conchero. Smurfy, hello. Oh god. Oh jeez. Okay, so we have the Game Boy's first fighting game. And much like on the NES, that doesn't work. But you know, everything can be excused until Street Fighter 2 comes out. I guess. It just looks... his legs just look like matchsticks. Oh no! Oh... 私はもう死んでいる。 Well, you know, we'll get to Game Boy Street Fighter later on. See, the problem with a lot of these early fighting games is there's no real way to defend yourself. It just turns into Rock'em Sock'em Robots. And there's no real like strategy to any of this. You can't like read their moves. You can't use like spacing or anything. Try doing footsies in this. It doesn't work. He's just gonna slam into you. And like you go in and you hit him, and then like he's probably gonna hit you back, and that's just how that's gonna go. This seems to kinda work, but not really. Oh man, Fist of the North Star. I hope you get a good game eventually. The next game is called QBillion. That's a lot of Q. Why was that game so fucking loud? Oh no, the mouse is stealing the N! Move mouse to push one layer block next to two layer block. Push block by pushing A button. Okay. Move mouse onto one and push two. Oh! Oh, there's 3D. But they don't show the 3D, they just show you numbers. That's a choice. That's a choice that was made. What is this, the eye catch? Man, they really should have... Oh, no. Oh, what? You press start and it just... Okay. The controls are kind of unresponsive. It doesn't feel very good to move this mouse. I don't know why the hand capturing is being kind of weird right now. I guess it's just because I'm touching my face and I can't see that. Yeah, this feels like it should work in theory, but it's just not... And the control doesn't feel very good. It feels like you'd have to be really deliberate. Like, he can only go so fast, so even if you tap the button faster, this just happens. Although it just went faster, so I don't actually understand what's going on there. But it makes it feel very unresponsive because, you know, you start in this empty corner and then you gotta go over here where the action is, so... This just feels more like a neat idea, but not actually a very good game. Oh, you can just jump from there. I didn't realize that would be the case. Oh well, this is a bit ass. Next up is Boomer's Adventure in ASMIK World. Yeah, you know Boomer? He goes to ASMIK World, where all little boys want to go. Look at him go, he's confused by his own tail. That's a good sign. Okay. You know, we should change the palette up. Wait. How do you do the presets? Oh, that's this option. Right? Yeah. Yeah, green feels good for this. Okay, so you move pretty slowly. This is gonna be looking... Okay. That was really hard! I'm glad I survived. Okay, now there's enemies. What the fuck is that thing doing? A creepy worm pooping all over the place? Okay, I got a compass, I guess? Oh, I guess this points me to where the key for the door is. Or does it? Well, I used it up, as you do with the compass. Okay, so I don't actually know what the compass was for. I don't know what that was trying to indicate. Like, at all? I don't see the key anywhere. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. Game where you move that slowly and then just touching something once, it's just like... Wait, don't tell me this is hidden. No, these are like the boundaries of the screen. Oh my god, it's fucking hidden, isn't it? Get out of my way, worm. What? What the fuck just happened? Oh. Oh, I gotta kill this guy? Is this an attack? What the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't get what the fuck's happening here at all. I feel like if you fuck up the controls on... Oh, you can hold it to dig. And that's what, I guess those guys are trying to dig, but they're bad at it, so it just doesn't happen. Oh, okay, I guess if they're there, they can't dig good. This sucks. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so the Game Boy had this really cool effect where, because the original screen was kind of crap, if you flashed it rapidly, it could look like transparency. That doesn't work on anything else, so sometimes you'll see a game that just does that. Yeah, it sure did. I apologize. I didn't know that was going to happen. Alright, 2 more games. One is Master Karateka. I wonder if this is like the Jordan Mechner game. But Master Mode. Yeah, I don't really want to go to ASMIK World, personally. Oh man, I got to like do stats. Alright. Let's just even that out, because I don't know what we're doing yet. Yeah, there it is. No. Oh man, that's speed. That's speed though. Can I unfight? Okay, there we go. That's still really slow though. Oh no. Go fight. Okay, so I guess it's I played the Famicom version of that's rude. I played the Famicom version of this, and I remember that controlling a bit better, but that could just be my memory. That sounds like when you get something in Chrono Trigger. Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. It sounds like Chrono Trigger, doesn't it? Exciting game action. I love the freaking music just starting up every time, because it's just like, alright, I defeated that guy. I wonder what's next. Oh my god! You know, I don't think these guys should be wearing these helmets while doing karate. I don't think that... Well, that doesn't really help you in that case, does it? I think that we just get in the way. You'd be, like, heavy? What the fuck was that? Is he blocking? What? I guess he is. It looks very odd. Okay, so if he's just always blocking where I'm hitting, then what the fuck do I do? What the shit? What am I supposed to do here? I'm just punching through him because he just makes the block stance and that works anywhere, I guess. I guess I just got a counter? I don't know how to block myself. Okay, you just hold a direction. Okay. That didn't work all that great. Ah, fortunately this guy doesn't know how to block. That makes my life easier. Oh boy, another guy you shouldn't have. Oh my god! They really just don't switch it up. It is literally just this. Oh no. Now I am the dead. Hey, well that's not fair. I should have like a 5,000 copies of myself to fight these guys too. We should get all freaking Nidhogg up in here. Alright, the last game is The Sword of Hope. I don't know if we're in for like an RPG or a Zelda-like or just a side-scroller where you go swish, swish, swish. Let's put Kemco. It's possible that I'm not going to understand anything that's going on. No, wait, that's Koei. What's Kemco? What do they make? No, this game sucks? Okay, cool. Okay, Evil Dragon, hacks his sword. Alright, Beast still strong. Evil and King's Heart. And he steals a sword and then everything goes fucky for some reason. The birth of Prince Theo! I'm just imagining that, like, the prince gets born and the king is just like, what the fucking fuck? What would you do that to me? And he just wins every argument in the household by just being like, yeah, well, you got a fucking dagger on your arm. Yeah, I was asking that. They ported the Mac Venture trilogy to NES. Well, that was good then. A truly important mission awaits you. Theo, you are big enough to live by yourself. In truth, I've kept something from you. More text. Everyone's trees. Blah, blah, blah. Let me play the game. Okay, cool. You at least get equipment. That's pretty neat. Oh, it's one of these, huh? I love how the actual fucking world is like this tiny goddamn postage stamp on a screen. That's actually fantastic. What? I want... See, I thought I was facing the door and then I should go out of it. A room is just full of Gary Oldman. Someone call out your name. Oh my god, more text. An enemy appears! Oh no. All that build up for this? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, he's back. Oh no, he brought a friend. I'm fighting moths. The infamously terrifying creature of moths. He can rip out your throat while you sleep! It's got a password system. This seems like one of those games where it's like, you know, you have a genre that makes sense. You know, you got your RPG adventure game right here. And then they just make, like, every wrong turn possible. What the fuck? They just more show up? You can't just do that. The fight was over. I won. What the fuck? The game can just do that? Then why should I even, like, be like, okay, I gotta win this battle? I'm not gonna be motivated if it just be like, nah, there's more. Get the fuck out of here with that. Everything is just bringing me back to the fucking Oldman house. And then there's always a moth here! This fucking navigation makes no goddamn sense! Why the fuck do I turn around? Why is Old Man House on both sides? You weren't fucking kidding. This blows. Oh, cool. Is it a moth? It's a moth. Wow. The music's also fucking terrible. Jesus Christ. I get that it was early days for the Game Boy, but like... I don't know, man. I think you should have seen that this was just a fucking steaming coil. And cancel it. Okay, that's a weird note to end on, but that was the last game to come out in 1989. It was actually the same day as Master Karateka, which is not great, but it was better than that. It was and looking at like how you know, that last batch of games just wasn't particularly inspiring, was it? So it kind of seems like they did the reverse of what usually happens, where, you know, the launch was like really good. You got like some really good games early on that are like perfect for the Game Boy and they work. And one of them is Castlevania: The Adventure. And then you get to the holiday period and you start getting really bad games. So that doesn't make sense. That's not how you do that. Anyway, I will be doing 2 more roundups this year. One is PC Part 3, and the other one is NES Part whatever the fuck we're on. Part 5. And that will end 1989 and thus the 80s, so we can go into next year starting the 90s. Remember 1989 not as a banner year for Game Boy, but a banner year for EVE. Well, that's not really fair, is it? Like, anyone would get bodied by EVE. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put the radical 80s thing up just for that one bit in Boomer World or whatever it was. Or I can just edit that. Maybe I'll just edit it so it doesn't do that. But yeah, gonna do that. I would like to finish Final Fantasy II if I can. I don't know how long the game is, but I would definitely like to stream it as much as I can with Noth. Let's not use the phrasing anyone would get bodied by EVE because that sounds unfortunate. Well, the thing is, you would kick their ass is what I'm saying. If it's a battle in 1989, you're always gonna win. Like what else was in 1989? Oh. All right, Taylor Swift was born in 1989. Not nearly as good as EVE. Like, obviously, pretty plainly, right? By the way, I love how my model still has this issue. I need to find someone to fix my model up a little bit so that I can't just clip through my sleeves. Maybe just make my fingers a little less sausagey. No, honestly, like, I would like to have a lot of cute outfits, and paying for models for all of those would obviously be pretty prohibitive. So I don't know, maybe I'll just sometimes be a PNG tuber. I'll just draw myself in a nice outfit and bounce about. Need the element of surprise on your side? Well, too bad. Everybody, EVE is really good. Y'all hear that? It's snowing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll probably play something Christmassy soon as well, because that's what we do. But yeah, I'm trying to just aim low here, just get like these few things done that feel like they should get done this year. And hopefully 2026, I can just kind of be like, all right, we're going to have a mulligan on that. We're going to have a mulligan on that. And we're just going to do this whole thing properly. Everything that I said I would do might actually happen. I definitely feel like it's going to be a bit better just because, I got my medication sorted out. I did a massive fucking album project. And, even if I might record another Catgirl Adapter album next year, it's not going to be that elaborate. It's going to be a single disc. It's going to be like 12 to 16 songs, and some of them are very short. So it's going to be a lot simpler to record. And I might just do the thing I've been doing with writing, where I just kind of, in my free time, if I've got nothing to do, I'll just record a song. It doesn't need to be... I feel like I'm sort of like anti-exciting people for this album, but it's just a different way of doing this. It's just a different way of doing it, because sometimes you need a big, elaborate, lavish production, and sometimes you just need to fucking bang out 4 chords and scream about how the government's fucking your shit up. Is there any other Rosie lore stuff in the works, or not yet? I've been thinking a lot about Rosie lore, actually. I've been coming up with a bunch of ideas, and I don't quite know how to manifest them yet, to put it like that, because, everything's always a big project with me. So I gotta find out something that's decently doable. That's not, like, gonna be a huge time sink, collection of your stream bops when? Well, I've got my title theme, which I should probably make like an extended version of, but what else are you thinking of? I mean, I guess I've sometimes used like different instrumentals I've made, but I don't know. Were there any particular tracks that you think are really cool? my arm just disappears and then comes back because I'm too close to my face. I wonder if the Leap Motion 2 is better with that. That's really expensive though, so. But yeah, I've been thinking a bunch about Rosie lore, and I want to take that a little more seriously, because, I don't know, I just like making characters and settings and just having them be around, you know? And it's fun to explain, like, the whole Rosie backstory. I was mainly joking about those random clips I made of you singing on stream. Oh! Well, shit. I mean, I guess at some point I could release some of those background musics. But, yeah. If I could think of something that was funny enough from my stream nonsense that to warrant a full song, I guess I would do that. But I don't know if any of that is actually like, because it's always just me off the cuff just singing some stupid nonsense. I'd like to do a covers album at some point though. Probably going to be a lot of nerdy shit on there. But, you know, that's all for way later. I just kind of want to establish, like, okay, Catgirl Adapter is going to release albums somewhat regularly, and then we can start getting a little crazy with it. I gotta build a strong foundation. And yeah, this next album, the more punky, less elaborate one, that's definitely, I think, the next thing that's going to come out. Unless you guys want more remixes of All Sin songs, I could release another, like, remix single thing. And, you know, there's also a more synthy album that I've mentioned this on occasion. That's kind of supposed to be like a counterpoint to the punky one, but that one hasn't been, like, coming out as smoothly. Like, I guess I'm just not really in the right mindset to do that kind of music at the moment. So yeah, the punky one's gonna be the one. And I might already know what the title's gonna be, but, you know, I haven't recorded anything yet, so we can't like lock that in yet. That'll be all for now, so stay tuned for my next couple streams that are gonna happen. I'm really gonna try my best to get this stuff done. So yeah, I don't know when the streams are gonna be. That's always still a little up in the air, and you know, I wanted to do it last night and I was feeling sick, so I couldn't. So it's immediately a great example there of, yeah, I try to get normalcy, but I can't though. Okay, so thank you all very much for watching. I love you all. Don't forget to tell your friends about Rosie. We are closing in on that 150 followers, so if, you know, you can spread the word of Rosie, tell all your friends, tell all your followers, tell everyone that they should follow Rosie McDamsel on Twitch, then we can get there. We can get to that new milestone. Over on Discord, I've got a whole bunch of new emoji because for some reason I have a ton of slots. I don't really know how that happened. I think it's something to do with boosts. But we've got a few slots open on Twitch, so check out the options over on Discord and let me know which ones you would like to use in the Twitch chat, and then we can do that. Thank you, Eve, for the blurbs there in the chat. Check those things out. That's all for now, so Rosie rolling out! Oh yeah, I could do the finger gun. I can look at... No, it doesn't really work. I can't see the finger. It just... Okay.